Life has a quiet way of revealing what was hidden. That is the truth you must confront today. Stop waiting for the earth-shattering moment, the thunderous sign, because life reveals its secrets not always with a loud bang or a dramatic moment, but often in the silence. It happens in the quiet pauses, in the space between breaths. When you sit there with a heavy heart, questioning why people walked away, why they hurt you, why they acted like they were with you when they never truly were. But you are missing the monumental exchange that took place when you chose to pray. Here is the truth you might not want to hear. When you ask God for clarity, you are not just asking for direction. You are asking for truth. You are asking for vision. You feel it, don't you? And sometimes that truth is not pretty. When you pray for guidance, you assume God will only illuminate your next step. But God doesn't just light your path. He also illuminates what was hidden in the shadows. He shines a brilliant, searing light on what you desperately needed to see. He shows you who was pretending. He removes the illusion and lets you see people for who they really are. It is rarely easy. It often hurts. But understand this. It is necessary. You believed they were your people. The sacred few who laughed with you, shared meals, shared moments, shared dreams. You invested your whole self into those connections. But not everyone who claps for you is cheering from a genuine place. Not everyone who sits beside you is truly invested in your well-being. Some simply like the light you carry, the warmth of your success, but they were never willing to walk with you through the dark. Let that sink in. Their loyalty was conditional upon your comfort. God hears what you do not. He sees what you miss. He is present in the conversations that never reached your ears and the looks exchanged behind your back. He knows the weight of words never spoken aloud. And when the time is right, when your foundation is finally ready, He lets you see it slowly, carefully, with grace and precision. It starts small, a sentence that feels off, a gesture that does not match their words, a tug in your spirit that tells you something is wrong. That spiritual radar is your protection. Piece by piece, the painful puzzle begins to make sense. This revelation, this ground shift, is the answer to your prayer. But it is an answer that can leave you feeling like the ground has shifted beneath your feet. Because when the truth arrives, it can shake you. You look around and wonder how long you have been surrounded by people wearing masks. It is not that they suddenly changed. They were always this way. You just see it now. And that, seeing reality without the filter, is a hard thing to carry. You may feel betrayed. You may feel angry. You may cry and ask why God allowed you to go through this, why He let the wolves stay so close to the fold. But you must understand this foundational truth. His clarity is a gift, not a punishment. He is not revealing the truth to break you. He is doing it to protect you, to free you from false connections, to stop you from building a magnificent life on shaky ground. How many times have you stayed in relationships that drained your very essence simply because you did not know the full story? How often have you consciously ignored your instincts because the truth felt too hard, too catastrophic to face? Think about that. God knows that without clarity, you would be destined to keep repeating the cycle. You would keep giving your precious time and unique energy to people who only take and never replenish. So He steps in. He intervenes. He lets you feel the crushing weight of dishonesty. He lets you see the fake smiles and hear the words they never meant for you to hear. Not to cause you pain, but to help you let go. This intervention is His way of pulling your soul out of the suffocating places. This is His way of saying that you were made for more, far more than half-hearted loyalty. But you must be willing to accept what He shows you. You cannot heal from what you continue to excuse. You cannot move forward while desperately holding on to what is no longer real. Clarity often comes wrapped in the stinging discomfort of realization, but you must not confuse that discomfort with destruction. Sometimes that discomfort, that initial ache, is the beginning of your deliverance. So let go of the illusion you thought it was. Let the truth settle in, heavy and true. Mourn what you lost, the idea of what it was, but do not chase it. Let God do what only He can do. Let Him strip away what is false, so you can finally stand on something true. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not falling apart. You are being set free. That is the revolutionary power of clarity and the unyielding mercy of God. If you know this truth is setting you free, like this video and let me know you're ready to stand on something real. But freedom comes with a price. It demands immediate action. The most difficult part of clarity is that it doesn't just offer understanding. It demands action. It confronts you with truths you can no longer ignore. Truths that burn away the excuses you used to comfort yourself. Once your eyes are truly opened, they cannot unsee what has been revealed. You can no longer pretend everything is fine, polishing the facade of a broken connection. You can no longer make excuses for people who have already shown you exactly who they are. Clarity brings a choice, and often that choice is the agonizing one you have been cleverly avoiding. It may mean stepping away, creating distance from relationships you tragically believed would last a lifetime. It may mean creating necessary distance between yourself and people you love because their actions no longer align with their eloquent words. Ask yourself, can you accept the truth of what you see? It may mean learning to stand completely on your own, trusting that God will sustain you, that He will be the unwavering presence, even when no one else remains by your side. In those raw moments, it is natural to feel completely overwhelmed. It is natural to question if you misjudged, if you were somehow the one at fault, if the heartbreak could have been avoided by being smaller, quieter. But look deeper. clarity is not God punishing you. It is the ultimate act of Him growing you, forcing you into a stronger posture. It is His precise way of showing you what you need to see so you can finally become who you were always meant to be. God is not just answering your simple request for understanding. He is answering your silent, desperate plea for peace, for authentic healing, for joy that is undeniably genuine, for relationship built on rock-solid truth, not on fragile illusion. His clarity is proof, irrefutable proof, that He is working for your ultimate good, even when the process feels sharp and painful. He is meticulously removing what does not nourish your spirit, like a surgeon excising infection, making sacred space for what will sustain you. And I know you may not understand it while you are standing in the thick of it, surrounded by confusion, but there will come a day when you look back. You will see His fingerprints on every single moment. You will see how the initial pain carved resilience and deep strength into your very soul. You will see how the crushing loss became a solid bridge to something immeasurably greater. You will realize that clarity was never simply about others. It was primarily about revealing something profound deep within yourself. It was about awakening you to your intrinsic worth, to your undeniable strength, to your true calling. And that realization, that inner, unshakable truth, is what sets you finally free. There is a hard-won truth in life that we all must face eventually. Not everyone who walks beside you is truly with you. When you first come to understand that profound separation, it can shake you to your core, because we are fundamentally built to trust. We desperately want to believe the best in others. We assume that those who stay close to us share our hearts, our values, our intentions. But hear this warning: proximity does not, has never, and will never equal loyalty. Just because someone is physically in your life, sharing your orbit, does not mean they are spiritually in your corner. You begin to see that some people are not walking with you out of genuine love, but purely out of convenience. They benefit, they gain energy from being near your light, the warmth of your accomplishments. But they were never willing to carry the weight of that light with you when the wind turned cold. They may celebrate your victories out loud, performing adoration for the crowd, while secretly waiting for your inevitable fall. They may speak kindly and gently in public, while harboring deep, secret envy in private. Their support is tragically shallow. Their loyalty is completely situational, shifting with the wind. And their love is conditional. These dangerous lines are not always easy things to detect, because some people are masters of performance. They know how to say the right things. They know how to perfectly mirror your values just enough to stay close, to remain relevant. But their entire presence is built on mere appearance, not on true depth. And here is the test. When life inevitably becomes difficult, when you desperately need more than surface-level support, their sudden absence will speak volumes louder than their thousands of empty words ever did. Think about it. Who vanishes when the cost rises? They will vanish when you are no longer useful to their narrative. They will withhold help when it costs them something, however small. They will find reasons, excuses cloaked in sympathy, to step back when you need someone solid to lean on. That is when the cold, hard truth begins to take shape. And on the other side of that painful truth are the ones who remain. The few who choose to stay. The ones who carry your burdens as if the weight were their very own. They show up when it is inconvenient, when it interrupts their comfort. They choose you when it is undeniably not easy. Their loyalty is quiet, but utterly constant. Their presence is not for show, not for social media status. It is for pure, unadulterated love. God allows these clarifying moments of separation to happen, not out of cosmic cruelty, but out of divine protection. He knows that you cannot and should not build something lasting with people who are only halfway invested, operating with divided hearts. He knows that the tremendous future he has planned for you cannot possibly be supported by relationships rooted in self-interest or subtle deception. So he lets the truth rise to the surface. He gives you new eyes to see who is merely standing near you and who is truly, sacrificially standing with you. And once you see the unmistakable difference, you are finally free to make the hard choices you have been avoiding. You are free to draw the immovable line, to close the door, and ruthlessly protect your hard-won peace. This process, this painful pruning, is not punishment. This is preparation. God is refining your inner circle. He is surrounding you with those who are aligned with your purpose, your calling, not just your convenient past. And in that difficult process, you are becoming stronger, wiser, freer. Clarity is not always gentle. It is often brutally honest, but it is always, fundamentally, a gift. Seeing the truth can break something inside you. There is absolutely no use pretending otherwise. It hurts to realize that someone you trusted, someone you opened your guarded heart to, was never truly standing with you. That specific kind of betrayal cuts deep into the bone. You will find yourself going back over every conversation, every shared moment, searching desperately for the signs you missed. You will wonder how you didn't see it sooner. You will question your own instincts, your own worth. You might even start to believe that maybe you were the problem, the fatal flaw. But the liberating truth is this: it was never about you. It was always, unequivocally, about them. Their profound inability to love you well, to stand beside you with honesty and commitment, speaks volumes about their flawed character, not yours. If this hit you, don't scroll. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Once you internalize that monumental understanding, something fundamental inside you shifts. You stop trying to convince indifferent people to care. You stop fighting for a fragile place where your powerful presence is merely tolerated. You stop pouring your finite energy into relationships that only leave you feeling utterly empty. And in that newly claimed space, a new kind of freedom, a wild and beautiful freedom, is born. You start making room for people who see you clearly and love you deeply without pretense. People who celebrate your rise without a hint of envy, who support you without conditions, who believe fiercely in your vision and show up not just when it is easy, when the sun is shining, but especially when it is hard, when the storm hits. These are the chosen few who stand with you, not just casually beside you. These are the people who walk with powerful purpose, who walk with quiet loyalty, and who walk with you simply because they want to, not because they need something. There is incomparable strength in knowing who is truly in your corner. That kind of clarity is powerful enough to move mountains. It is the foundation of your next chapter. That powerful clarity teaches you precisely how to set boundaries, not walls, but sacred fences. It helps you fiercely guard your peace. It allows you to focus your limited energy on what matters most, what will move you forward. And even though letting go of those who only ever offered half-hearted loyalty is undeniably painful, it is absolutely necessary. Because you cannot rise to your full divine potential while surrounded by people who are only half invested in your future. You need a circle that is committed. You need a foundation you can rely on. You need a team that relentlessly reflects the values you hold closest to your heart. So the next time you feel betrayed, misunderstood, or profoundly let down, stop and remind yourself of this one liberating truth. Not everyone who stands next to you is truly standing with you. And that is all right. It is not your exhausting job to convince anyone of your worth. It is not your responsibility to fix people who are unwilling or resistant to change. Your only sacred responsibility is to remain rooted firmly in who you are, to stay faithful to your core purpose, and to trust the path God is leading you on, even if it feels lonely right now. The people who are truly meant for you will never need to be chased. They will walk with you through every single season, no matter the cost. And that, my friend, is all you need. When God begins to move seismically in your life, He often starts by revealing what has been hidden, pulling back the curtain. This process can be disorienting, feeling like a massive emotional earthquake. It can feel like your entire known world is unraveling. But you must understand this. It is always done in love. God sees what you cannot. He sees the whispers behind closed doors, the true motives buried beneath the surface, the dark intentions masked by superficial charm and smiles. He sees the specific relationships that silently drain your spirit. He sees the situations that quietly, incrementally, pull you away from who you were created to be. Because He loves you with an unwavering, eternal love, He does not leave you trapped in the dark. He allows what is hidden to come roaring into the light, not to punish you for being naive, but decisively to set you free. And when this revelation happens, it may initially feel like everything is falling apart. The people you depended on begin to suddenly show their true, difficult nature. The circumstances you once desperately thought were blessings begin to reveal their true, suffocating weight. Ask yourself, what illusion are you still clinging to? It feels like standing abruptly in a room where the lights have just flicked on, exposing the mess, the debris of years you didn't even know was there. But God does not reveal darkness to shame you or to crush your spirit. He reveals it ruthlessly to release you. He brings the light not to expose you in pain, but to prepare you for the profound, lasting peace you deserve. Darkness simply cannot survive in the presence of light, and once God illuminates the truth, you are no longer walking blindly, stumbling over obstacles unseen. You begin to see clearly. You begin to step with purpose and intention. Like a room that was once cluttered and dangerous, now illuminated, you can move through it safely, avoiding the traps. His piercing light reveals exactly what you must confront, so you can finally walk forward without stumbling. Let's be honest, this confrontation is never easy. It is not easy to face the painful truth about someone you loved deeply. It is not easy to admit that a situation you were fighting tooth and nail for was actually keeping you small, confining your potential. It is not easy to confront your own stubborn moments of denial, to acknowledge the ways you avoided what was real, because the pretense was simply more comfortable. But the glorious light will not allow you to stay comfortably in those illusions. When God shines that brilliant light, it forces you to see things as they are, not as you frantically wish they would be. And that, seeing reality unfiltered, is one of the hardest but most holy moments you will ever experience. Because in that exposure, He is not breaking you. He is building you. He is clearing the path. He is shaping you for something demonstrably greater. He is pulling you out of what was holding you paralyzed and preparing you for what is finally ready to carry you forward into your calling. This harsh truth is not the end of your story. It is the powerful beginning. A beginning shaped entirely by truth. A future lit exclusively by clarity. And a heart finally free to walk in genuine peace. God never reveals darkness just to expose it for its own sake. He reveals it to make permanent room for His light. He clears away what no longer serves your purpose, so that something infinitely better can take its rightful place. You cannot hold tightly to what is fundamentally broken and still expect to receive what is whole. You cannot remain stagnant in the middle of chaos and still logically hope for peace. You cannot cling desperately to what is false and expect to encounter what is real. God knows this better than anyone. That is precisely why He steps in. He removes the illusions. He clears the deafening noise. He brings the pure truth to the surface. Not to harm you, but specifically to prepare you. Not to shame you, but to make space for something far greater. Every single moment of exposure is an invitation, a gentle, persistent calling that says, "This is not what I've chosen for you. Let me show you what I've designed instead." But in order to receive that divine design, you must completely release what has been holding you back, what anchors you to the past. You must trust deeply that the loss of something unfit for your life is far less painful than missing out on the goodness waiting for you. The goodness God has already prepared. That, my friend, takes real faith. Faith that God's plan is superior to your meticulously laid out plan. Faith that His timing, though confusing, is absolutely perfect. Faith that His light will guide you through even when the path feels dangerously unclear and foggy. If this speaks to you, hit subscribe. This intense journey is not just about seeing others clearly for who they really are. It is also profoundly about seeing yourself clearly, stripped of all internal illusion. When God shines His light, it does not only illuminate what surrounds you, it also reveals what lies deep within you. He brings up the persistent fears you've successfully buried, the crippling doubts you've been living with, the self-defeating habits and patterns that quietly hold you back, creating limitation. But He does this not to condemn you, to label you a failure. He does it because He loves you eternally. He knows that the powerful person you are becoming requires growth, and growth only happens through painful awareness, through spiritual refinement, through complete surrender. God will not allow you to remain stuck in a comfortable place of limitation. His light was never meant to just brighten your difficult situation. It was meant, fundamentally, to transform your soul. And as this light grows stronger, something miraculous begins to shift inside. The toxic relationships that once exhausted you no longer have a suffocating grip on your heart. The anxiety that once relentlessly clouded your mind begins slowly to fade. The chronic heaviness you carried, built on confusion and doubt, begins to lift. In its newly vacated place comes peace, comes purpose, comes unshakable clarity. This is the undeniable power of God's light. It does not simply reveal darkness. It relentlessly drives it away. And with every bit of darkness that disappears, the light takes up more space, filling the corners of your life with new strength, deeper hope, and lasting joy. But this sacred process is not always quick, and it is certainly not always easy. There will be moments when the familiar, the toxic comfort of the past will call your name, even when you know deep down it is not good for you. There will be moments when the truth feels too bright, too overwhelming, and you'll be powerfully tempted to turn back toward the fleeting comfort of what you used to know, even though it nearly broke you. You are almost there. Don't look back. But listen to me. Do not let fear convince you to settle. Do not let the temporary, fleeting discomfort of change stop you from stepping powerfully into the greater, magnificent things God is preparing specifically for you. He exposes what is harmful because He knows what you truly need. He knows the people who will genuinely lift you higher. He knows the opportunities that will profoundly grow you. He knows the peace that will sustain you when everything else feels uncertain and chaotic. But to receive any of that, you must be fundamentally willing to release what is keeping you stuck, what is anchoring you to yesterday. You have to trust, blindly if necessary, that His light will guide you, even when you cannot see every step. Trust absolutely that the direction is divine. As you follow that guiding light, you will begin to witness what He has been meticulously building for you all along. You will see how He was clearing the treacherous way, shaping your weary heart, and preparing every crucial detail with unwavering love and intention. And through it all, pain will play its essential, difficult part. Pain is a teacher many try to avoid, but it is often the single greatest source that teaches us the most profound lessons. While comfort keeps us paralyzed and still, pain relentlessly pushes us forward into growth. It strips away illusion. It forces us to confront the difficult realities we have ignored. It breaks us open precisely so that something new, something stronger, can finally grow. Without pain, there is no true progress. Without struggle, there is no authentic strength. Without difficulty, there is no deep, meaningful depth to our soul. So when pain comes, don't run from it. Don't scream at it. Don't numb it with distractions. Don't pretend it doesn't exist, wrapped in forced smiles. Sit with it. Acknowledge the weight of it. Let it speak the hard truth. Let it show you what needs to be learned, the lesson intended just for you. And then, when its essential work is done, let it pass. Because pain is not meant to stay. It is not a destination. It comes to execute its work, to refine, to sharpen. And then it leaves. And when it finally leaves, it makes abundant room for healing. It makes room for blinding clarity. It makes room for a new version of you, one that is stronger, fundamentally wiser, and more grounded than ever before. Pain is not the whole story, engraved in stone. It is only a transformative chapter, and if you can endure it, if you can consciously trust the necessary process, you will emerge with a deeper, richer appreciation for life. You will carry a stronger, undeniable sense of purpose, and you will walk with a quiet, unshakable confidence in your own strength. You will realize that the very pain you thought was destined to break you was the very undeniable thing that built you. And in that glorious realization, you will find peace that surpasses all understanding. Sometimes, we hold on tightly to people or paralyzing situations that God is clearly and lovingly asking us to release. It could be a draining relationship, a suffocating job, a toxic friendship, or even a deeply flawed way of thinking. We cling to them because they feel agonizingly familiar, because they provide a false sense of safety, because they once brought us temporary comfort. But this is the brutal irony. In desperately holding on to what is no longer right for you, you are fiercely holding yourself back. You are closing your hands tightly to the immense blessings God is urgently trying to give you. You are chasing after what God has already started to remove. Letting go is not weakness, it is strength. It is an ultimate act of faith. It is a bold, powerful declaration that you trust God to fill the empty spaces with His goodness, His grace, and His provision. What feels like a loss today may be the very thing you fall to your knees and thank Him for tomorrow. His timing is perfect. His plan is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust that the loss of something unfit for your life is far less painful than missing out on the goodness waiting for you. When you choose to let God take care of the heavy burden of justice, you are not being passive or weak. You are being incredibly strong. You are rising above the situation. You are showing that your valuable character is not defined by the hurtful actions of others. You are choosing the higher road, the more difficult path. You are choosing faith over crippling fear. And you are declaring loudly that your peace cannot and will not be taken by someone else's wrongdoing. True forgiveness is not weakness. It is freedom. It allows you to breathe deeply again. It gives you the necessary space to heal. It opens your heart to peace and allows you to move forward without dragging the heavy chains of bitterness behind you. The pain you feel today, the heartbreak that shakes you, is not the end of your purpose. It is a massive stepping stone towards something exponentially greater. You have faced darkness before, and you survived it. Remember the days you thought you'd never smile again, never breathe deeply again, never find light again. Yet here you are, stronger, wiser, more resilient. That is undeniable proof that healing is possible, that life relentlessly moves forward, that seasons change. The best is not behind you. It is ahead. It is waiting specifically to meet you. You may be confused, wondering why you had to lose that job, why a crucial relationship fell apart. But know this: your challenges are not arbitrary punishments. They are preparation. Life is shaping you, refining your character, stretching your faith. When the right moment comes, you will be ready. The best is yet to come, because growth is always possible. Your struggles will become your strength. Your setbacks will pave the way for your monumental comeback. And your losses will ultimately open the door to something even greater. If this changed your mindset, share it. Let someone else find their freedom. When you release what is false, what is temporary, God will fill your life with what is real. Real love, true peace, authentic connection, lasting joy. So do not let the inevitable betrayal break you. Let it build you. Let it refine your trust in the one who sees all things. God does not only expose what is false, He also powerfully reveals what is true. And when you walk in faith, He leads you not just to healing, but to victory. Stay strong, stay faithful, stay true to who you are becoming. The best is not behind you, it is waiting ahead. This isn't just a video, this is your wake-up call to the life you were designed for.